Hi everyone, Kelsey here. Um, I've just realised it's actually been about 6 months since my last blog that I've done for my YouTube. So I thought I'd better keep you all updated and let you know that I'm still here. I haven't disappeared into the sunset. I just, nothing's really changed since the last time I done one, so I just didn't see the need to make a video. Last video I done, I was telling you about how I'd been in hospital and how the cladribine didn't work, how I was having to go on to rituximab because the cladribine didn't work, and we were gonna have a bone marrow done to see how well the rituximab done and what was the next thing to do treatment wise. So I was basically supposed to get a bone marrow biopsy done around about Christmas time, but I had a really bad experience with my last one. The last one that I had, basically, the nurse who had done it, I don't know how to explain it. He got the needle stuck in my muscle that wasn't obviously numbed, and it was absolute agony, like really, really bad. And so I developed such a phobia towards having a bone marrow done that I basically put it off for the past, since Christmas, so what, maybe 6 months. I was assured though by my doctors that because of all the evidence that they'd had through blood works and through checking my spleen and through how I was feeling genuinely, that they were pretty sure that, I was doing okay, and there was, at the moment, there was nothing to be too concerned about. So the bone marrow, to get the results of how I was doing, it wasn't completely necessary. It wasn't ideal for me to start the treatment without the bone marrow, because they like to have that for data and to see how well it's worked, because obviously there's always a chance that in the future this will come back, and so they just like to have that evidence. But a decision was made because I was so scared of getting them done. I was literally weren't sleeping for days before, and if I got that appointment and I say it was booked for a week's time, for that whole week I would cry, I'd have panic attacks, I wouldn't sleep, couldn't eat. Got myself in such a state that I couldn't even leave the door, and it got so bad that they actually referred me to start seeing a counsellor, because I just couldn't separate that experience to the other ones I've had where they've been not nice, but I've got through them okay. So I finally plucked up the courage and grew a pair of balls and got my bone marrow done about 3 days ago now. But just going back to where I was when I last spoke, I was on cladribine, and then they made a decision to go on to the not cladribine. I was on rituximab, but then they decided to put me onto interferon. And the only reason they decided to do that was because rituximab only works for a certain amount of time, and ideally I want to be able to use that drug again if it ever comes back. Touch wood, it doesn't, but if it does, it's good to know that that's there and that's worked for me before. So my consultants decided it was best to keep that as a backup for the future, and to go on to interferon and see how I go on that. And I've been pretty well off it, to be honest. It's injections 3 times a week of the interferon that I do myself. You can have a nurse come out to do it, but because I can do them myself, I just thought it probably easier than getting someone to come out for not even 2 minutes while they inject it and then go again. So I've been doing them myself. Side effects wise, I have had a lot of cold and flu symptoms. You get, when you first start it, you do get cold and flu symptoms. So you just take paracetamol and ride it out. For the first week or two, I had really bad cold and flu symptoms. Not temperatures, just the other effects like headache, aching body, aching legs, achy bones, feeling really heavy-headed, and just genuinely feeling like shite. So that's how I was for the first couple of weeks. But then your body adjusts to it and you get used to it, and over time it gets easier. And the good thing about interferon as well is if you are finding the symptoms just that little bit too much, taking it out of you too much, you feel like you need a break, you can have a break for a week or two and then start again. Obviously you can't keep it for a prolonged amount of time, but you can take a break from it and readjust yourself and get back on it. So I've just wrote a few notes down on my pad because I don't want to miss anything out from keeping you all up to date. So, yeah, I've also been having nerve pains, like tingles in my toes, in my fingers, in my arms. Not severely to the point where, you know, it's panicking me, but I do get that, and that is one of the side effects of it, that it can affect your nerves. But it all reverses and goes back to normal once you finish the course. What else? Yeah, a bit of my depressions came back. I've always suffered with depression anyway, and it comes in bouts every couple of months, years, depends on the circumstances or what's going on in my life, but it's happened, and it's just one of them things. But with interferon, it can make depression worse or bring depression on. So I've been closely monitored how I'm feeling and how my moods have been whilst being on this treatment, just so that we don't get to a point where, you know, my depression gets bad, basically. So that's why they refer me to see a counsellor, as well as the bone marrow side of it. But yeah, I'm dealing with it okay, and I have good days, I have bad days, just like anyone else, really. Anxiety's back, but I've always had anxiety. That's just something that I'm learning to deal with on, you know, a daily basis, and it's all part of package of coming with, you know, the side effects of things and the whole cancer experience anyway. But I'm dealing with it, I'm okay. Eyesight actually was one of another side effect. I've never suffered with eyesight problems before. And my when I told my consultant whether that was something that was to do with the injections, they had to actually really look into it and really research it, because it wasn't something that was frequently documented as a side effect. But with some extensive research and you know, looking into things, they found that actually, yeah, it can cause your eyesight to go a little bit worse than what it is. It's not terrible, it's just things just slightly look a bit blurry sometimes, especially driving or watching telly. So I've got my gigs, and I quite like them actually. Make me look smart. So yeah, eyesight, that's another side effect. But other than that, I've been okay. I've been doing normal things. Like I've said before, my mum, so I've been doing school runs, been doing chores, shopping, walking the dog. I've even been trying to do a bit of exercise here, there and everywhere, just to, you know, try and keep myself active and healthy and whatever else. So yeah, the plan is now, they said to me, if I didn't get the bone marrow done, I'd have to stay on the treatment for at least a year, because they obviously don't know where we're up to with the whole cancer thing. So it was a year treatment, or depending on what was left in, what came up on my bone marrow, if I was in remission, it would be 6 month maintenance course, just to, you know, really make sure that them hairies stay down and don't come back for a long time, and, you know, the best result is that it doesn't come back at all. And then they said if there was quite a few bits there, it'll be for a year, and then we'll take it from there. So I've had the bone marrow done about 3 days ago, and I'm just waiting now for results. I'll find out in a couple of weeks when I next have my consultant, with the consultants, to see what's going on. I'm presuming they'll tell me then what's going on. So then I'll update you on my next video and let you know how I got on. Well, so I wrote down. Yeah, my spleen stayed normal. My spleen stayed down, completely normal size. It hasn't raised back up. My bloods have been fine, fabulous even. The only thing that I've lagged a little bit is my platelets, but I've been assured that that's completely normal. They can take a while to come right the way back up to normal, and sometimes they do stay just below normal, but that's completely normal for us. And I also just wanted to say as well, if you're on Facebook, because I use Facebook as a social media platform, I don't really use YouTube, which is why I haven't been updating all the time. If I had you on Facebook, you know, you'd constantly see my journey, I hate that word, but that's what it is. I discovered a group called the Fight Against Hairy Cell Leukemia, and it's basically a group full of people just like us, all in the same boat, all being diagnosed with hairy cell leukemia, and anything that you've got to ask, you can ask. And there's people on there who've been in remission for 20 plus years, so they know exactly what we're going through, and they're full of advice and they're full of knowledge about the condition. So it's really great if you've just been first diagnosed and you've got all these questions going on in your head, but you feel like you've got no one to turn to because no one understands what we're going through, because hairy cell leukemia is so rare that I haven't met anyone with it since, and I've met a lot of people through being in hospital and stuff, and I have never met no one with it. So it's really, really nice to know that you've got this group of people who understand exactly what you're going through and who can genuinely help you with any inquiries you've got, like anything at all that you want to ask about it. People are more than happy to just go, right, you know, we've done this, I've done that, my husband, we've been through this and this is how we got through it. And it's just really nice knowing that you're not on your own and that all these people from all over the world are all in it, we're all in it together and we're all supporting each other, and it's just a really nice group. So if you're on Facebook, add it. I don't know how to do links on YouTube, but I will try and put the link in on the bio so you can go and have a mooch and add yourselves to it. And yeah, that's it for now. I'm like I said, I'm doing good. Past 6 months have been a lot more nicer than the original 6 months before that have been. I feel pretty much normal now. I feel really, really grateful for I don't want to say for having this cancer, but I do feel grateful in the sense that this is, like I've always said, one of those cancers that luckily there's a lot of treatment for, and the success rate for it is incredibly high, and we've all got an amazing chance of living a normal life. So that's it for now. Over and out. I will make a video in a couple of weeks' time when I find out how with this biopsy comes back as, hopefully, fingers crossed, we're in remission. And if not, we'll deal with it as it comes, as we always do. Take care. Bye.